World War II was a conflict of armies, of tanks and planes, of battles that scarred cities and reshaped nations. But it was also a war fought in silence, in shadows, in places where ordinary eyes could never see. Behind the front lines, in quiet villages, abandoned warehouses, and hidden safe houses, men and women risked everything, moving unseen through enemy territory, carrying secrets that could save or destroy lives. Among them was a man known only by his codename, Falcon, a spy whose story would disappear from history, but whose actions shaped the course of countless lives. Falcon began as an ordinary office clerk in Paris in 1941, a city under occupation. Soldiers patrolled the streets, propaganda posters adorned every wall, and fear hung over the city like a heavy fog. By day, he shuffled papers, typed letters, and blended into the busy streets, unnoticed. Yet, beneath his unassuming exterior, Falcon possessed sharp intelligence, fluency in several languages, and an uncanny ability to read people. These traits, seemingly mundane, would become invaluable in the dangerous world of espionage. His life changed with a simple envelope slipped under his apartment door on a rainy evening. There was no stamp, no seal, only a single sheet of paper with a message. "We know your skills. Are you willing to serve your country in silence?" Fear clawed at him, but so did the knowledge of the suffering around him. The arrests, the disappearances, the constant presence of the enemy. He accepted, knowing that his ordinary life had ended and that every step forward could mean death. Falcon was trained in secret safe houses scattered across southern France, learning the art of moving unseen, of memorizing codes, forging identities, and blending seamlessly into any crowd. Each exercise was a rehearsal for death. Many agents who failed simply vanished. Falcon learned quickly that survival depended on intelligence, precision, and nerves of steel. He became invisible, a shadow among shadows, prepared to navigate the labyrinthine streets of occupied Europe without leaving a trace. His first mission took him deep into the heart of Nazi Germany, tasked with delivering intelligence about troop movements to the Allies. He carried nothing but a small satchel, forged documents, and the knowledge that discovery meant immediate execution. Traveling by train, bicycle, and on foot, Falcon moved cautiously, always avoiding checkpoints. Each encounter was a test of wits and nerves. An officer's eyes lingered a second too long on his face. Falcon played the role of a traveling merchant, collapsing slightly, pretending illness, and using the officer's sympathy to avoid suspicion. That night, as he scribbled in his journal, he wrote, "Fear is constant, but it is also fuel. It sharpens the mind, focuses the heart, and gives every step purpose." Falcon's work was never solo. He relied on ordinary civilians who risked everything to help him. A baker hid coded messages beneath loaves of bread. A schoolteacher ferried documents across the city. A young boy carried letters and hollowed books. Together, they formed a network that transmitted vital intelligence from Paris to London, each handoff calculated and fraught with danger. One misstep could unravel months of planning and cost lives. Through these missions, Falcon became not only a spy, but the linchpin of an invisible war, connecting the whispers of rebellion into a force that could change the course of battles. By 1943, Falcon's daring and success drew attention. Rumors of a mole spread through the resistance and among the occupying forces. Several close calls brought him to the brink of capture. In one instance, a Gestapo agent recognized a small, idiosyncratic gesture. Falcon, thinking quickly, feigned a sudden collapse. A sympathetic civilian doctor whisked him into a hidden room, keeping him safe until the immediate danger passed. In the quiet of that safe house, Falcon reflected on the fragility of life in these shadowed straits, understanding that survival depended as much on the courage of others as on his own skills. His final missions took him across forests, mountains, and rivers into heavily guarded enemy territory. One such mission involved gathering intelligence on German troop movements on the Eastern Front. The night was bitterly cold, the forest alive with the sounds of distant artillery, the cries of wolves, and the occasional gunshot. Falcon moved silently,
every step deliberate, knowing discovery would mean instant execution. Crossing rivers, navigating minefields, and avoiding patrols, he relied on instinct honed over countless missions, trusting only himself and the shadows that cloaked him. After this mission, Falcon disappeared. There are conflicting reports. Some claim he was betrayed and captured, executed in secrecy. Others suggest he crossed into neutral Switzerland and vanished into civilian life. A few whispers speak of him continuing espionage under a new identity. Official records list him as missing, and the resistance mourned silently. His fate became one of the enduring mysteries of the war, an enigma that only adds to his legend. Despite his disappearance, Falcon's legacy endures. The intelligence he gathered, the lives he protected, and the operations he coordinated had far-reaching effects, saving countless people from suffering or death. His story reminds us that history is often written by survivors, but true courage frequently leaves no signature. Behind the front lines of famous battles, thousands of Falcon-like figures moved unseen, risking everything to fight tyranny in silence. The heroism of spies is not always visible. It is measured in whispers, in messages delivered under the cover of night, in the lives saved quietly and without recognition. Falcon's courage, patience, and ingenuity embody this unseen war. The streets he walked, the forests he traversed, the coded messages he carried, all are silent testaments to the bravery of those who operate in shadows. Today, we may never know the full story of Falcon, but in the streets of Paris, in the forests of Germany, and in the hearts of those he helped, his impact remains. Each brick he touched, each message he delivered, and each life saved carries his invisible signature. He became a ghost in history, a reminder that the most profound acts and heroism are not always celebrated or remembered, but they shape the course of events all the same. Falcon's story is a reflection of countless unsung heroes of the war, the spies who slipped behind enemy lines, the couriers who risked death to deliver messages, the ordinary civilians who became extraordinary by choosing to act. They were the threads that wove together resistance, intelligence, and courage, creating a fabric strong enough to resist the darkest forces of the era. Even in Disappearance, Falcon teaches us about the power of silence and invisibility in war. Every step he took was deliberate, every risk calculated, every life he influenced saved by precision and intellect. The shadows he moved through were not empty. They were alive with purpose, discipline, and the quiet insistence that freedom was worth any price. World War II may be remembered for its large-scale battles, its generals, and its armies, but it was also a war fought in whispers, in hidden alleys, and in the courage of ordinary people made extraordinary by circumstance. Falcon's life, missions, and ultimate disappearance remind us that heroism can exist without recognition, and that courage does not always demand a name. The silent victories of spies, like Falcon, shaped the outcome of the war in ways that history often cannot record. As we reflect on the story of Falcon, we recognize the invisible hands that guided history, the shadows where heroes walked unseen, and the quiet acts of bravery that changed the world. His story is one of courage, sacrifice, and the delicate balance between life and death. Though his name is largely forgotten, the ripples of his actions continue to touch the present, a testament to the unseen warriors of history. In the end, Falcon became more than a spy. He became a symbol of silent courage, a shadow in the annals of history, and a reminder that sometimes the greatest victories are the ones no one ever sees. His disappearance only deepens the mystery and amplifies the legend. He reminds us that true heroism can move through the world without recognition, leaving only whispers of its presence for those who choose to remember.